Welcome back, sports gamers. It's the Natural. A lot of details have come out about Madden 21, and today I want to feature every single thing about the X Factors, especially the new ones they have added to the game. About 50 new X Factors, a lot of them surrounding around defensive offensive line play. Have some screenshots directly from the game for you guys. Let's get right into it. Starting off with Travis Kelce, deep out elite and tight end apprentice. Tight end apprentice coming back from last year. Deep out elite is new, and basically how they did is they broke up all the routes in the game to deep, short, and kind of medium there, and outside, inside. So you'll see as we go through the different X Factors, you'll see that it's kind of broken up into sections or quadrants, and different offensive players will have bonuses or X Factors around those quadrants, and certain defenders will have the same way, where they'll be better at covering short, medium, or deep, or inside, outside. So that's kind of like a little meta game they got going back and forth when it comes to the secondary. So that's it for Travis Kelce. Let's go ahead and move on to the next one we have here. DERWIN James, even though his picture is shown, X Factor ability of reinforcement, superstar abilities of unfakeable, and lumberjack. Unfakeable coming back from last year. Lumberjack being new. Cut sticks guarantee tackles and add a fumble chance. So it's almost like an enforcer for a cut stick. Hopefully it's not as OP as enforcer was last year, and we all know. And what really made that so dangerous was the fact that guys can click off the defender and they would deliver a monstrous hit stick and jar the ball loose. If you followed PML and Cookie Boy myself series, you see Caden Stearns for the Dolphins that he had was an absolute monster with that enforcer, clicking off and laying the wood to guys and causing them to cough with the ball. So hopefully Lumberjack isn't as offensive, overly powered for the defense, and you shouldn't be able to click off. You should have to user it, but we'll see how that goes. But that could be a potentially overpowered one. I'm gonna go through a lot of the top ones, and ones that I think can possibly overpower, ones that I think maybe actually underpowered. Getting the Fletcher Cox, aka Big Cox, in your backfield. Under pressure, well, that's from last year. Large area effect, the QB pressure and disruption. El Toro, dominant bull rush wins from max pass rush points, and that's a big one there. It's all about the refined pass rush game with the pass rush, and you have to actually have like a meter. Each defender has like a meter when you rush the offensive line, when you're rushing the passer, and that meter depletes if you keep using the same moves over and over. The offensive line learn those moves, so you kind of switch up your moves, different moves, but also you can switch up different linemen, because once that guard or whatever starts learning Fletcher Cox moves, you can move them over to the other guard, you can move them outside, and kind of get a fresh meter like that. But once they learn all that defender's moves, then they can't beat that tackle anymore, or that lineman anymore. But then you have different X Factors that do all sorts of things with that meter. They add points to the meter, make it where the meter doesn't use any points, and the offensive linemen have abilities that affects the meter as well. Makes it tougher, makes it quicker that they learn moves, and such. You'll see as we kind of go along. So that's a part of it. El Toro is one of those, the new ones added, that's all around that pass rush blocking, pass blocking meta. And Russell Wilson, most underrated quarterback in the National Football League, coming in with Escape Artist, as we know. That is super OP last year. That is just probably the best quarterback ability you can have. Allows you to quickly escape the pocket. Clutches, same one before, but Gutsy Scrambler is a new one. Him as well as Dak Prescott has that this year, and that is allows them to not to get penalty when they scramble out and they get pressure. So before, if a defender gets close to you, if you're scrambling, you'll get a penalty for pressure, and then it might be inaccurate throw. But those with Gutsy Scrambler, they're immune to that penalty that they have there. So that actually seems like a pretty good one, especially if you like living outside the pocket. All right, moving right on to the next one here, we have Richard Sherman. Shut down X Factor, but has Chuck out. Zone Chucks fatigue the receiver. That can be a pretty serious one, as well as deep out zone KO, improve reactions, knockouts, and deep zone. That was kind of what I was saying. and deep outside zones. So, you know, he's a cover 3 style corner. It's also, you can see he's that chuck out, he's a press type corner. So now I'm interested how that chuck out is going to work and just how much fatigue they take from a receiver. You know, if you get 2 chuck out corners there in cover 2 and you just get beat up on the offensive receivers all day and they're all red, you know, into the first quarter, we got to see how that stuff is kind of balanced. That seems like something that could possibly be a little OP if configured right, but you know, I'm waiting to get more hands on the game before I say much about that. So interesting set of abilities on Sherman there. TYRANN Mathieu, aka Honey Badger, with flat zone KO, improved reaction to catch knockouts in flat zone, so short cover 2, or if he's at safe position, you know, going to the flat from a safe position as well. Also short route KO, enhanced knockout in man versus short routes there. So that's 2. You can see, you know, he's nasty underneath, you know. So it's kind of shows. I like how they kind of trying to give a little more identity to the players. You can see anything short, Honey Badger is a beast in that area. He's not he doesn't excel as a deep safety, as a deep player, according to Madden. I'm not saying I've looked at any advanced statistics showing his knockout rates in deep passes versus short, but according to them, he is seen as a really excelling in coverage underneath, and that's what. But I like the idea that you can give a little more personality to the players. They don't all play the same. Drew Brees, lofting Deadeye, indoor baller, safety valve, inside Deadeye, and red zone Deadeye. Nothing new there. Let's move on. Derrick Henry, even though the picture is type killed, that's just from scrolling too quickly. Freight Train, that's from last year. Armbar, more powerful stiff arms from last year as well. Reach Forward, frequently gains additional yards while being tackled, and that's into the new mechanic where the players will reach forwards toward the first down, towards the end zone, depending on their ball carrier vision rating. The higher the BCV, ball carrier vision rating, the more likely that player is to reach out for those extra yards. But this, for reach forward, actually gains additional yards while being tackled. So falling for yards, and you see those big backs. And I think last year, after the stiff arm was nerfed a bit, you didn't see the big backs being as powerful, being as effective as the elusive guys. But I think this might be the year, the return of the big running back, and you can see that with Derrick Henry in that one. So that is it for the screenshots. Let's hop in and take a look at the got some details on all the abilities here listed out, all the new ones. Gonna go through all the new abilities in the game and just show you guys all the abilities period, and then an actual team breakdown of every team's abilities that they have, all the players and everything, so you can kind of see numerically how it stacks up. So starting out with Bottleneck, makes it high likely to dominate and win any man press encounter. You see Jalen Ramsey has that. Ankle Breaker increases fake out rates on spin, juke, and hurdles after the catch with Christian McCaffrey. He is 99 overall. He is going to be a monster. We got an alert on an OP one right here, Avalanche. It guarantees that a successful hit stick when running towards line of scrimmage will result in a fumble. That sounds crazy. That sounds like Enforcer turned up to 100. Bobby Wagner and Jamal Adams has that. That is now these are all Xfactor abilities. These are not superstar. These are Xfactor abilities. So all these have to be, you know, these have to be activated. So it's not gonna he's gonna have that all the time. So I really have to see what triggers these in order to activate Avalanche, because if it's something easy, that's gonna be a problem. So hopefully it's something really hard to do. I don't even know what that would be. Maybe like 5 tackles for a loss or something crazy like that, but hopefully it's hard to get activated. If it's something simple, that Avalanche is going to be a major problem. It's already a top 5 defensive ability. Yak 'em up, increased chance to break the first post catch tackle. Kettle has that one. Relentless, pass rush moves no longer cost points. That one's going to be nasty. That's going to be nasty. You get that activated and you can just use any pass rush moves you want without costing any points. Chandler Jones, Nick Bosa, and JJ Watt. The Bosa boys is a major problem in this game. They get after the quarterback. Truss can't fumble as a result of a tackle. That's Lamar Jackson. That's going to be a good one for him. If you didn't get a chance to check out Lamar Jackson in the beta, he is so nasty. I mean, he's nasty in real life, so, and he's undercover, so of course you know he's gonna be ridiculous. Tight out, improve the catching prowess of all tight ends who are open. And another thing in the beta, notice that definitely tight ends can catch with guys on their back, draped over them, in a lot more in kind of in traffic catches. They come down with stuff where last year they were dropped. So this is gonna be nice. The defense, you know, what is the definition of open really gonna be? Is it 2 yards, 3 yards, 5 yards? To see how effective that is. We'd love to get more tested with that. Blitz, this one looks like it can be super OP. On-field blockers have their resistant bars wiped. That's back to that pass rush mechanic how they have this year when I was telling you guys about the offensive linemen build up resistance to the pass rush moves. If this wipes the bars for the resistance for the entire offensive line, like, that is gonna be super OP, because that's gonna like, the whole defensive line is gonna be more effective after that. So I'm interested to see if this is just for who he's rushing against, or is for the whole offensive line. Wipes the resistance. That's gonna be crazy. Have to see on that one. Balance beam, avoid stumbling when carrying the ball. Now we're into the superstar abilities. Avoid stumbling when carrying the ball. This is a really good one, so you don't get that stumble mechanic where you have to kind of hit the analog stick to get back up. So Joe Mixon, Nick Chubb, and Dalvin Cook have that one. All really top running backs, and of course these are all top players since they're all superstar or superstar X-Factor players. Reach forward, frequently attempt to gain extra yards while being tackled. We already kind of seen that one. Nick Chubb, Ezekiel Elliott. Playmaker, immediate, precise reaction, playmaker cuts. I remember this being in the game before. I feel like is this from last year? I just didn't see it in CFM. This might be one that they just had it in MUT. But yeah, this might be an old one here actually. But you know, Christian McCaffrey, C-Max would be nasty because he's so good out the backfield catching the ball as well as toting the rock. So second win, replenish their stamina once per play when it's half depleted. Josh Jacobs, this can be OP. I want to see how effective this is. If you can just always do it every time it gets depleted, they get that second win and they're just good again. They're back up to 99 or whatever. I mean, I gotta really test this one, but this could be nasty. If you're somebody who likes to just pound the rock, and I mean, their running back could just not get tired. I mean, that's gonna be crazy. I want to see more. This is a possible, noted for a possible OP one on that one. Closer, reduce zone objectives in the second half. Derrick Henry, tough nut, increased number of blocker resistant points. Teron Armstead, you can kind of see getting some of the offensive defensive line ones and start talking about the resistant points like Matador, stronger protection against bull rush, tear proof, ability to defend against rips, so they have additional resistance points. I was talking about the points. Fool me once, gain blocker resistant points at a faster rate. So that's good. Those top guys, top offensive linemen like Lane Johnson, they're able to build up their resistance much quicker, so they learn the defender and their moves become less effective. Natural talent, start every new block encounter with built-in resistance. So he's already resistant from the start of Jason Kelsey. Screen protector will dominantly win impact block on screenplays. Zach Martin and a couple offensive linemen have that as well. With all these offensive lineman ones, I really believe they have to have the ability in CFM for linemen to get depth stories, because it's so many abilities. I mean, unless they just make it where you just have to draft them and they have abilities, but with so many, they have to have some kind of depth story where you have to not give up sacks, not give up 3 sacks in a game for him to get it, or something along those lines, or pass for 300 yards in your line, or rush for 200 yards, or something like that to get those. They gotta add some offensive line abilities again, because there's so many now, and they were so overmatched last year with all defensive players, especially by year 3 or 4. All defensive players had these crazy pass rush abilities, edge threat, and all that, and offensive line really had no answer because they couldn't get abilities. Basically, they didn't have depth stories, unlike the defensive players. Swim club, ignore 1 bar blocker resistance when attempting a swim club pass rush move. One of the Bosa boys in here, as well as DeMarcus Lawrence, Eric Armstead. Unspun, defend against spin pass rush moves. They had this resistance point. Lifeguard, ability to defend against swim club pass rush moves, but like the same, but different move there. BOGO, free pass rush move once per play. after spending a pass rush point. That's going to be an interesting one. I want some testing with that. Shaquille Barrett, Josh Allen. El Toro, we already kind of went over that one. Instant rebate. Refunded a pass rush point when successfully shed blocks. So you shed a block and you get another pass rush point added on. Speedster, ignore 1 bar and block resistance when attempting speed rush moves. Nick Bosa and Daniel Hunter, as well as extra credit. Granted additional maximum pass rush move point. Man, Bosa, like I said, them Bosa boys gonna be nuts. Unpredictable, less likely to increase their block and resistance bars when performing shed wins. Okay, so they don't build resistance as fast. A lot of these abilities kind of play off each other. You can kind of see there, it's like yin and yang with a lot of them when it comes off these line and receiver and secondary. Ripper, ignore 1 bar or block resistance when attempting rip moves. Defensive rally, grant a bonus pass rush point to all D-line on 3rd and 4th down. That one is gonna be crazy. 3rd and 4th down, everyone gets a boost on 3rd. Wow, that one might be an OP. That's a very powerful one. Adrenaline rush, all pass rush points restored after sacking the quarterback. Von Miller, that's gonna be a good one there. Get to the quarterback and all your pass rush points get restored. Wow. Mr. Big Stop, start 3rd and 4th down with at least half of their maximum pass rush points. Outmatched, highly likely to win contested catches against running back. See, this is an underpowered one. I mean, how often you're gonna have contested catches versus a running back? I mean, usually when they do this quick down and out the backfield, the running back usually beats the linebacker anyway. So how close would we be on coverage? I mean, no one's throwing fades or jump balls to the running back. I mean, it's just, I'm just saying, I'm not saying it won't happen in the game ever, but just how many contested catches you're gonna have versus a running back from the backfield. So it's something it sounds good, but I don't know how often will this actually be used or activated. Bench press, apply bonus fatigue to their man coverage target after a successful press win. So you press them at the line, they win that matchup, and then it makes the receiver tired. That's going to be an interesting one. You got that bench press with that. You pair that with that knockout. That's going to be not knockout, but the other one that Sherman had. That's going to be nuts. Oh, chuck out. Yeah, that's it. Chuck out. So, but these are 2 different archetypes. This is like a man coverage archetype. This would be a zone archetype. So the one corner wouldn't have both. So chuck out, slow down their target, successful zone chuck. This one's more for man type corner. And that's what chuck outs of Brian Jones, Richard Sherman. Stonewall, frequently prevent additional yardage gains while tackling. So these guys are great for those power backs who want to fall forward, and Stonewall stops that. Lumberjack, do not allow broken tackles and cause more fumbles when cut sticking. Ball catch one we saw earlier, that could be crazy. It's like enforcer for cut stick. 1 step ahead, react much faster to receiver cut moves when in man coverage. That's gonna be a nice one for a man corner. Jalen Ramsey is just, whoo, that's a bad man right there. All right, let's take a quick look. I'm not gonna stay under too long, just so you guys can see all the abilities pretty much in the whole game, and all the new abilities. Kind of scroll down, you guys get a good look. I mean, it's a lot. They added 50 in there. You can see all the new ones I kind of went over, and you can always feel free to pause if you guys want to take a look at this. The only one that I didn't see on here from the beta that was very interesting was film study. And film study, Earl Thomas had film study, and that was the ability that the opponent had ran the play, I think more than 3 times or something like that, or certain amount of times. If they ran the same play, you would actually be able to see that particular play. I believe it was 3 times. Correct me if I'm wrong. And a lot of people in the competitive community went crazy because they love running the same play over and over and over and over the whole game. So that might have been something that got removed. But for franchise, please put that back in. That's what we want. We want guys to have to mix it up. If you're not going to do it with the AI being smarter and learning, if someone ran the same play over and over again, let's at least help us, give us something like that, a tool or ability which persuades people to not spam the same stuff over and over again. Sometimes in Madden, you can even know the play's coming, you still can't stop. But at least that's something giving us something to kind of combat that. So these are all the total abilities in the game. And let's move on to the team breakdown. You can kind of see the full layout going all the way from San Fran all the way down to the New York Jets. New York is just not in a good place. Jets and Giants all the way at the bottom with just one each. And you can see there's 113 total ability players in the game, 50 X Factors and 63 superstars. I'm honestly fine with if they lowered the total number of X Factors to maybe one per, maybe 40, maybe 35. So it's maybe like one per team, 1 or 2 per team. Maybe maybe 40, and then increase the superstar abilities. But maybe some guys who are just good players, but not amazing players. Maybe not the best player on their team, but just give somebody just one ability, like somebody who is a borderline. Sometimes somebody who there's a lot of guys who make the Pro Bowl one year might not make the Pro Bowl every year. Everyone's not a perennial Pro Bowler. Somebody who's pretty good, they just do one thing really well, and giving that person an ability. And I think that really helps differentiate player from a player. Not everyone is a superstar. Not everyone is the top best player on the team. A team is made of a lot of good players who some are superstars, some are just above average, and some of those guys should maybe get one. I'm saying one ability, not stacked, not a standout guy, but a solid player. So a good player. So we'll see. So that's the team breakdown right there, and you guys can see that. Any shock, really to me that jumps out right away, the Dallas being this high up on the list. And Tampa Bay, we know Tampa Bay with Tom Brady and Gronk really boosted that. They really would have 4, but those 2 guys coming in free agency there. Baltimore, not that I thought they would have more, but I just thought they're one of the better teams in the game, but they have a little less than I thought. Arizona with 4. And Kyler Murray is really underrated, so he's not even a part of that list, I believe. I don't even think. Let me see. He might be on there just for escape artists. Yep, he is. He's only like I think 78 or something. He's low 80s. He had a really low rating, but escape artist, quick draw. So Carolina falling off big time. A lot of these. I mean, it's not too many crazy surprises, but just seeing the huge difference between the bottom from New York Jets, New York Giants, Miami, Detroit, all the way up to these top. I mean, that's a big difference in ability players there. Huge difference. San Fran with 3 X Factors, KC with 5 X Factors, Minnesota with 4 X Factor guys. I mean, these are all game changers. So that is it. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoy our content here at SGL, like, subscribe for more news, reviews, and tips from your favorite sports games. Want to take your game to the next level? Join us on Patreon and become SGL Insider today.